I gotta bring all my junk in just in case, because that might be my hotel room for the night.
I'm Levi Brown. I'm here at GRIDLIFE, Mid-Ohio, round 1 with my 91 Honda Civic. Definitely didn't build it for a class. I've had the car since before GRIDLIFE started, and just kind of fell into track mod with it because I didn't have any interior or anything. Tough choice. A 195 or a 205. Let's stick with what I know. Tires I had were 100 tread wear already anyway, and I just kind of went with it because I didn't have any interior to put back into it. It's the best money-wise I could do, kind of keep it on the cheap and stay doing what I want to do. $2 rolls of duct tape, little flamingos and RVs on it, man. It reminds me of vacation.
Hi, my name is Fiona. This is my 07 Honda S2000. I'm competing in GRIDLIFE Street Mod this year. I'm originally from Taiwan. Moved to California when I was in high school. Before I moved into Time Attack, I actually had some Formula car experience. I also went to China and do Formula rental there. I got this car like a month ago when I found out the M3 wasn't working. We were having some electrical issues, and last year I was just having a lot of issues with the car, so I didn't want to have the same experience again this year, you know, to tow a car to a track and not be able to race it. That's pretty much what I went through last year, and this year with this car I believe I can do a lot better.
Alright, my name is Ben Mish. I'm here with Hard Times Racing. We're at Mid-Ohio, GRIDLIFE, driving a 93 Mazda RX-7. So I've always been into Japanese cars with a preference for rear-wheel drive, turbocharged, fast cars. So the goal was to pretty much build my dream car, a car that I just knew that I'd be in love with. Wanted it to look good, wanted it to drive well on the track. Wasn't sure how nervous I was going to be tracking it with all the aero on it, and so I wasn't sure, you know, how often I would be tracking it. But after the first event, it was just a go. It's really easy to drive, very confidence-inspiring, and I love it. My first one was a 90 Honda Civic, and I've just liked the boxy style of it and the old Honda generation. So I've just stuck with the same car since I had my driver's license pretty much. I've had one for about 16 years now. I've just had a couple different ones, and now I've made it to this one, and I've had this one for a few years. Just a stock K-Series motor, Type R. I've had the same swap in it for probably 5 or 6 years now. Just kind of maintain that. Do maintenance stuff to it, brakes, tires every year. Keep up on that stuff just so I can stay a little bit competitive and still have fun in the class that I'm in. the shell's from Arizona, so like I was pumped about that. Solid chassis, but like paint's faded. I've got the roof is spray painted on top of it, so like I used to throw my key across the top for somebody else to let themselves in the passenger seat when I had a passenger seat, and like I've just kind of, I guess you could say, mistreated it a little bit, like beat it up and stuff, but I mean, makes it a little easier when you just bump into it or scratch it, and whatever, just a car.
Yeah, it's kind of a clapped out red EF that he like literally barely takes off his dolly in between events. I think he changes the oil every year. This year he did brakes, which was kind of like a huge development. Levi's the most chill dude you'll ever meet. He really doesn't care about much except going out having fun, not really too worried about winning or competing. Somehow he always is competitive though, which is the coolest part. He's definitely real goofy. He, I don't know, the whole 420 thing, he doesn't even smoke. Just all real silly stuff that, it's all kind of like inside jokes, making fun of his friends, stuff like that.
He handed me the stack of numbers with the door card and I pull it out and it's 420. So somebody's kind of playing a little bit of a joke on me or something. I don't know who actually picked the number out, but it gets laughs and it fits it, I feel. I mean, it's a good number for the car, so. The point that I've gotten to now is just rowdy, have fun car, not really care about it. I mean, I care about it obviously, but it's not a show car. I've pretty much built it for the purpose of coming to like the GRIDLIFE stuff or some local events that I do, track time. I mean, it's just basic, keep it simple, low cost kind of, stick with what I do. I'm in the track mod class, kind of outgunned a little bit, but it's still fun trying to hang in with the other guys that have the higher horsepower cars or the more expensive builds, I guess you could say. I'm not expecting too much this year. It's kind of it's still fun competing. More so, I always try to go out for a personal best to kind of beat previous year's times and stuff. And it'd be cool to stay relevant, but it's not my main priority. It's still fun to try to compete, but it's, yeah, like the past couple years has gotten really serious. The level of cars is like top notch now, and you gotta, some of them will show up for 2 or 3 events and they get top in the leaderboard, so they don't have to show up to all the events to try to score points to make it to the end. So nowadays it's like a mid-range car, and it's just, I do what I'm doing and I stay to that, so it's just fun coming out here.
Remember, turn forward, get off the brakes. Stay on the brakes for a little longer, get off and get back on power. Over the crest. Over that after China Beach, the one over the crest, get back on power. I think Fiona's pretty much up to speed already, but the next few seconds is where it's most difficult to get. Fiona's managed to catch up to me on this track to not that much time difference in just two weekends.
I mean, having Jackie as my teammate, it's always a great thing because like I can always see how I'm doing compared to his time, and it helps me a lot in terms of like chasing lap times.
You're how many seconds faster than yesterday?
5 seconds from the first session yesterday morning. Yeah, I'd say I was expecting more of improvement, but yeah, this is not bad at all. I think I can still do it to beat Jackie's time. So Jackie's time is kind of like my benchmark. I can measure how I'm doing during the weekend in accordance to his time. and then that's like how I measure like whether I'm doing well or like if I should improve through the corners, if I'm not going fast enough. Because right now we basically have the same car, so it makes that even easier. My goal is to be faster than Jackie.
She's a perfectionist. If she's doing something, she wants to be successful at it and she wants to do well. So ever since we started, she's always had, I'm gonna beat you one day. She did not give two craps about, I'm slower, I'm just gonna catch you and I'm gonna beat you. And one day when I beat you, I'm gonna dress you up in a girl's dress.
I've been always into cars since I was a kid. You know, I have a younger brother. Every time when my parents, you know, bought him cars as presents, I always I wanted to play with them. But then, growing up in Taiwan, it was kind of difficult because my family was rather conservative and traditional. So it took a lot of adjustment for my mom to get used to me racing a car. I got this car from a former GRIDLIFE competitor, Andrew Mishra. Being able to get it is like a dream come true, because like I've always wanted a S2000, and having this car that's so well set up for, you know, events like this, I was really happy. It's got a Science of Speed supercharger kit, a new block in the engine basically, and it makes 390 horsepower. I would say probably a couple years ago it was competitive, but now like with street mod people going faster and faster, I don't know. I think it's pushing. Like I need to work really hard to achieve my goals, but I think it's doable. Yeah, I want to be placed in front of Jackie, and I think it's doable. Probably, maybe not right now, but towards the end of the season, that's doable for me.
Really, the nervousness came before I drove the car. It's weird, once you're out on the track in the car, it kind of all goes away because the car does what you want it to do. I think that's something I picked up from drifting, it's car control. You know, like it's fine to drive it on the limit, and as long as you just make the right inputs, you don't get yourself into too much trouble. Well, the most noticeable on the car is the aero, the RACIN body kit, the Mazda Speed bumper. So I kept the car with sequential turbos. That was one of my main goals from the start. I wanted to have that instant response. Had to learn some intimidating vacuum diagrams. It's working, and I love it. And the boost curve is nuts. It's not what you're used to. I'm not trying to be competitive with the very top drivers. I'm kind of competing with myself, improving my own times, shit talking with my buddies. You know, we're competitive with each other, which is fun. And you know, every year we see with the whole team, all of our lap times drop, and that's enough for me to be happy.
He's probably feeling the pressure. That's one thing that time attack definitely amps up a little bit. You know the guy behind you is not far off your time, and you know the guy in front of you is a little bit faster than your time. So if that guy behind you is catching you, either you're going slower or he's going faster, and vice versa. So it does really put the pressure on, and it's a good thing, I think. You know, it's one way you got to learn is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
It depends on the person you are. If you do better under pressure, it can help. But at the same time, you might be pushing too hard too early because you're worried about being fast and everyone's going to see your times. I don't know, it's kind of a mixed bag, and it just kind of depends on how you operate. And for me, I tend to do a little bit better with some pressure. If I were to focus on trying to beat the best guys out there, it's money, time, stress. You know, you want it to be fun. And what's more fun than racing around a track? You don't have to be the best. You just have to keep improving and keep working on it and bringing it home in one piece.
weekend was solid overall. Had killer weather. Got to make all my sessions but one. Car felt solid. Yeah, the car was doing good, so can't complain about that. I was really close to what I did before and for not changing too much. As long as I'm kind of staying where I've been at, or I can get close to where I think I should be, I'm pretty content with that, pretty happy with that.
First time attack, yeah, a lot more pressure, especially when you're in the faster run groups. I think I did pretty well. I didn't get into too many people's way. I shaved time almost every session except the last, so I'm happy.
I just had the last session of the day, almost packed up and ready to go back for school tomorrow. I am 3 seconds off Jackie's time. That's like my biggest regret of the weekend, just that I couldn't catch his time. I knew he wasn't pushing 100% yet because he had some issue with his car.
The only reason I'm not driving is because I binned my car yesterday.
But one thing I'm kind of glad about is I've never gotten this close to his time. This is like the first time I'm like only a few seconds within his time. I'm looking forward to the start of the season to like eventually get to his time and be able to be, you know, heel and tail to him.
The goal was to put down some laps and bring the car home in one piece, and we did that, and all my teammates did as well, so it's been nice. It's a chill atmosphere here. Everyone is family, friends. It's a great time.
The rest of the year, I just plan on showing up to all the events, make sure the car stays solid, keep up on it, shake the rust off, get back into the swing of things, just have a good time, really. Hang out with all the friends that you see throughout the summer, pretty much, the track buddies, the good times, the weekends.